guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. Today I'm going to be doing a video all about how I became a personal trainer. Now I get asked on pretty much a weekly basis, if not daily basis, advice on how I became a PT, what course I did, what advice I give to other personal trainers. So I thought I'd start doing a little mini video series all about it. So this is going to be video 1, and this is going to be about the qualifications you can get, the options you have after your qualifications, and then I want to do a video all about what I feel has made me personally successful as a PT and how I built my business up. So please like this video if you want to see part 2, because I just want to know if this is something you guys are really interested in. So without further ado, let's get the video going. So I became a personal trainer back in 2014, I believe. It's 2016 now, isn't it? So 2014, I qualified on my birthday, but let's just rewind even further. So I was at drama school that year. If you didn't know, I went to drama school, I did musical theatre, and I graduated in summer 2014. And I thought, as a part-time job, I wanted to work in a gym because then they would help me pay to become a personal trainer so I could train clients on the side while still auditioning, which was what I'd always planned to do. I wanted to be in the West End and do all that kind of stuff, so I thought I could kind of have 2 careers at once, and the personal training would kind of fund my probably out of work actress life. It didn't turn out that way. I applied for jobs to work in sales at gyms, so I would sell memberships. I didn't get those, clearly not meant to be. But whilst I was doing some research on those kind of jobs, I stumbled upon, it was like on some recruitment website, about how to become a personal trainer, because ultimately that's what I wanted to do. So I gave this company a call and they spoke to me about their courses, and I called them on the Thursday and they told me about their courses, and the nearest one to me was in Reading. I'm from Newbury, if you didn't know, and the nearest one was in Reading, and that started the following Monday. So it's Thursday, the course started the following Monday. So I hummed and hawed about this. Ultimately I couldn't afford the PT session, but it works out that I could get a loan to do it. I'll go more into that in a minute. And I had enough money to put together for the deposit, and I spoke to my mum about it and she was like, okay, let's do it. So I enrolled with the training rooms on the 6-week intensive personal training course in the September, and I did that 6-week course and I qualified on the 30th of October, which is my birthday, so I will always remember that day. If I'm honest, it was an amazing experience. It was literally like going back to school. I went to this gym in Reading every day for 6 weeks. I sat next to the same girl, Lauren. I don't know if she might see this, I don't know. And I met some really, really lovely people. The class was a mixed bag. You get people who are like really into training and really genuinely passionate about fitness and nutrition, and you get people who kind of don't really know what they're doing with their lives and think, oh, I know, I'll become a personal trainer, and it doesn't always work like that. But I feel like I was surrounded with some really cool people, and we were a really close-knit group for 6 weeks and actually became really good friends with them, so that was really lovely. The tutors themselves were really helpful, and they got me through my exams. I passed them all pretty comprehensively. I have to say, I didn't go to university, I went to drama school, so I really had to go back to my books and I had to revise really hard. However, if you've been to university and you've done like science or even an A-level or PE at an A-level, I think you'd probably be fine, but I hadn't, and I hadn't been at school at this point for about 5 years, so I was like, right, get my head back in the game, and I got myself through it and it was fine. But just a million cue cards, you know, there's little revision cards. I was just living off those. I'd go home and make them every night. I think it was really interesting on a personal note that I worked so hard for that personal training qualification. I revised every night. I was always on top of my work. When I did my A-levels and my GCSEs, I did not care. I didn't do anything. I didn't get the best grades in the world, but I was really passionate about this, so I really gave it my all. I was really fortunate that as part of my 6-week course, I had little extra add-ons. So as well as the level 2 and level 3, we did level 2 within the first 2 weeks, and then I believe, and then we had 4 weeks to do our level 3. So The level 2 qualification finished in an exam where we did like a gym induction for someone who'd never been to the gym before, and you have to fill it, you make kind of like coursework and do worksheets, and then you take them around and do the physical induction. So you get them on like the leg press, for example, talk them through it, demonstrate how to do it, ask them, you know, rate out of 10 how difficult this is, and all this kind of stuff. And so it was like fairly straightforward, and there was a lot of like basic anatomy and stuff in there as well. Had to learn the like muscular system and the skeletal system, so yeah. And then on to level 3, it like pushed up a notch, and the scientific side went a little bit more in depth, and so did the practical side, where we actually had to design personal training sessions and like deliver those with confidence, and yeah, you'd have to like take on a fellow client in class, and listen to their goals and then come up with a plan accordingly. So yes, I was really fortunate that as part of my course we had extra add-ons. So I not only did my level 2 and level 3, I also got qualified to teach spin, which I still use now. I still teach spin, and that was one of the best things I actually did on that course, I have to say. I also did gym-based boxing, which I've used with an awful lot of my clients, so that was really good, that was really handy. I've got a circuit training qualification, and to be honest, that was also very, very helpful for me, because that's kind of what I do when I do my big group classes, when I do my events. A lot of that came in handy. And I think we did a nutrition course as well. So that nutrition course was like a basic nutrition exam, kind of going along government guidelines. I wouldn't say it was that relevant or that useful, but it's kind of good to know those things, because that's what the NHS are going to tell people, so it's good to be aware of what people should know, and then it's up to you to obviously do more research into nutrition as you go on. So on my 6-week course we had a careers day. This is when they arrange for lots of different people to come in from all the sorts of gyms and chat about what the career options are after you become a PT. Because if I'm honest, I wasn't actually 100% sure, I didn't really know. I kind of went into that whole bit a little bit blind. I just knew I wanted to train people. Didn't really understand how the whole industry worked. Soon learnt that very quickly. So we had people come in from David Lloyd, I think Virgin Active people came in from. Did you know you could become personal trainer on a cruise ship? We had people come from a cruise ship company to talk about that. People who were freelance, people who worked in like Easy Gym, that kind of stuff, and they're all talking about the pros and cons of working in their gym. Ultimately they wanted you to work in their gym. It was really interesting to hear other people's approach to the health and fitness industry and to training clients. I believe some of the people we met, I think they were quite manipulative, like with their clients, the things they were saying. Other people, I just thought they were clearly really passionate about their job. So it kind of, that gave me a little bit more knowledge and insight into where I personally wanted to go. So when I left, I got set up through the training rooms. I got set up some interviews, one with Fitness First. I got set up an interview with a David Lloyd studio in Putney. I knew I wanted to go to London, so these are all London-based gyms. And I got set up with a guy who is a company who are like an agency for gyms such as the LAX gyms, I believe now Pure Gym and that kind of stuff. And so I went along to these different interviews in my last few weeks as qualifying as a PT, so I'd like take a little bit of time out of the course and go up to London for the day and do all those things. So I got through all the rounds of my Fitness First interview, which is ultimately where I ended up, because that was a freelance position where I would rent the gym monthly. I pay them a certain amount of rent. It totally depends on your location. So in central London where I was based, it's particularly high. You're looking at over £1,000 a month. That means you have to make a minimum of £1,000 before you earn any money, and that doesn't even include your living costs and your own expenses. So just be aware of that option. But however, I did join Fitness First on a sliding scale. Now they do a sliding scale, which is like a system whereby you become a freelance PT, but you don't pay full rent. I personally didn't pay full rent for 25 weeks. So I did a whole month where I personally didn't get paid, and I did hours to the gym. So I would work, I think 5 hours a day. I would do 25 hours of work for the gym. and then in theory I could PT outside of those hours. So for example, if I was doing a morning shift, I might get in the gym at 7 a.m, I finish at, let's do, what's 5 hours, midday, and then I could PT all afternoon. So that was kind of how it worked, and in those shifts I would teach classes and do all that kind of stuff. Gradually, so after 4 weeks I started paying about £90 a week, and then another few weeks it increased about 120, and then it increases until you're paying over £250 a week every week, and that is you paying full-blown rent. It's really worth pointing out with Fitness First, I'm not 100% sure on other gyms, you do have a licence fee to join as well, so it's like £400, and that gets you your uniform, that gets you your insurance. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all it covers. So that's one option of doing it. We did also go and hear from people like Virgin Active. I think I'll briefly explain the kind of system that places like Virgin Active and David Lloyd operate. So if you don't want to take the risk and do what I did and don't earn any money for a few months, I didn't really earn any money for 3 months. It was tough, it was hard times, guys, I won't lie. It was probably the toughest time of my little life. I had no money, but ultimately, for me, it's really been worth it and it's paid off. The risk has paid off. However, if you're not willing to take such a huge risk, and if you don't feel like you can tread water, or you're changing career and you've still got a family to feed and bills to pay, perhaps that's not the option for you. So Virgin Active and David Lloyd, and I think Nuffield as well, operate a similar system whereby you are employed by them, and you still do your PT hours, and you might have hours you should do on the gym floor as well. You might even have 15 hours a week, so 3 5-hour shifts, and you do your personal training sessions for them, and they get you the clients. So they're doing kind of half the work for you. Obviously, it's up to you to retain the clients. So if you work for Virgin Active or David Lloyd or Nuffield, you don't keep all the money for your sessions. So I believe it's like if you have a certain amount of clients, so say you did so many, say you did 15 PT sessions a week, you might only make about 16 or 18 pounds per session. That might be per 45-minute session or an hour session. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't personally done this. This is just what I've understood over time. And as you gain more clients, so as you become one of their, more not important trainers, but as you become a more successful trainer, the incentive is that you earn more per session. So you go up to 22, 24 pounds per session, ultimately maybe about 30 pounds per session, and that's how they incentivize you to get as many clients as possible and do as much PT as possible. With Fitness First, going back to the Fitness First, in comparison, your clients pay you directly. You technically keep all the money, however you do have your outgoings of your gym rent to pay out of that, but ultimately, yeah, you directly get all that money, and that doesn't bypass Fitness First at all because you are freelance. So you can be employed or freelance. And if you have been fortunate enough to do kind of add-on qualifications which get you to teach classes and stuff, I really recommend, if you're a brand new PT, on getting involved in as many classes as possible. I started spin within the first month of me joining Fitness First, and I still teach those classes now despite having left Fitness First, and now I work in a studio. So I do recommend getting involved in as many classes as possible and teaching as much as you can. That's a great way to meet clients, and it's a great way to get your face known in the gym, as well as just building up your confidence and really learning more about how to train people, how to motivate people, what gets people ticking. What I want to do is I want to do another video that goes more into detail about how to build a successful personal training business, my little tips and tricks on how to survive, how to, work with your clients, how to get really good and lovely clients, and how to keep them. So if you would love to see that video, please give me a thumbs up. I do understand this video might have been a little bit niche, but I think it's really important. I get asked this question an awful lot, so if I can just send people this way to watch this video, then hopefully it's been helpful. I am going to leave the links below of a personal training course that I do recommend. It's not the personal training course I did. I currently work in a personal training studio in London called Number One Fitness Studio, and they have a branch called Number One Fitness Education, which runs the level 2, level 3 personal training course, as well as a nutrition qualification as well. So I'm going to leave the links to all that below, because I wanted to give you guys some bit of information and somewhere to go to look at as to what I'm talking about. And if you do use my name, Tally, I believe you get a substantial discount off your personal training course, or at least off your deposit. So I'm going to leave that all below for you to check out, and you can have a look and see what options there are. I believe Number One Fitness do a full-time intensive course as well as part-time. Lots of part-time courses tend to run on the weekends, so you might do like every Saturday, every Sunday, or some courses even do like every other week or once a month, and then you do e-learning as well. So if you go and look on the links below, you'll have loads more information about all of that. But I hope this has been helpful. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the weekend for a favourites video. It's been ages. I've got so much cool stuff I want to share with you, and all the stuff I'm loving. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye.